Ranking the best abilities in Madden 24. Now we are here with a final updated tier list. Today we're going to be going over the offensive abilities in Madden 24 Ultimate Team. Now we also today have all of the pre-lit X factors as well, because we're starting to get those as a baked on ability, right? And a lot of these rankings have changed given some of the meta of the game as well. So the tiers today as well, we're going to have the broken tier, which these are going to be things that are like actually like kind of overpowered and I think kind of stupid. We might add another tier like under that, kind of like a meta tier or something, because there might only be a couple that are in the broken, but we have great, we have good, we have mid, and then we have no point to run, meaning that like the ability might not be like the worst thing in the world, but there might just be something that does what it does, just maybe even better, right? All right, so let's get it started right here. We have agile extender. Now agile extender and anchored extender are pretty much the same thing, and in my opinion there's just no point to run them. So popular blitzes in the game, when DB fire out of like dollars good, this is like okay, but the issue with this is, yes, you can break the first blitzing DBs like sack. They have secure tackler. That's not going to happen. And also secondly, even if you break the sack, like there's someone that's going to be shedding you anyway. So I feel like these abilities just hurt you more than they help you. Now, fearless right here is the first one that's kind of, you know what? We're going to change this like broken tier. We're going to change the broken tier to must have, because fearless is a top end ability in the game. This is the counter for under pressures in the pocket, and everyone gets edge straight elite for 0. I think you need to have this on the quarterback, especially if you're pocket passing. Now, if you're someone that rolls out every single play, it might not be the biggest deal in the world to you, but if you want a pocket pass, you better have this or you're going to get some inaccurates. It doesn't matter if you have 99 throw under pressure and ideal sense pressure trait. Now we have gift wrapped. So gift wrapped, I'm going to put it right here in great. I want to bring up something that not a lot of people talk about, and maybe you don't know. So there's a lot of people say, okay, you take off gift wrapped, you don't notice it. You don't notice you need it until you notice you need it and you drop like a high ball or something. This also gives all your receivers acrobat, which I don't even think we have on the list. That ability is pretty pointless. The other thing I want to talk about is matchup nightmare. So I'm going to put matchup nightmare right by gift wrapped. If you didn't know, okay, matchup nightmare, if you have it on your receivers, you can highball your receivers and they won't drop it. So matchup nightmare and gift wrapped can kind of do the same thing. I think that's the major part of gift wrap right now, just not wanting to drop high balls. I think a lot of the diving throws you automatically catch now. So I'm going to put them right by each other. And I think matchup nightmare is one of the most underrated abilities in this game. Now we're going to get gunslinger. Gunslinger again, must have on the quarterback, speeds up the release. I just don't see a point, even if you have traditional 4, right? I actually hate the argument that's like, oh, I have a traditional 4 quarterback, I don't need gunslinger. I disagree 100%. What else are you spending AP on? Even if it's just like a couple frames, those couple frames could be the difference between a throw out a sack pick 6 and a potential laser. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see the argument for not running gunslinger. All right, now we have gutsy scrambler. Gutsy scrambler, I'm gonna put it mid. I don't think this is like a no point to run it thing. I get it. The thing that got me was you have to be on the run with it, which kind of weird, kind of a little bit weird. Like I thought it was gonna be kind of fearless outside the pocket. I think I just read the description wrong on it at first. I see the point of it. Maybe you could say it's good, but I think the on the run part of it makes it kind of just end. So we have a bunch of like the X factor abilities now, including like Homer, indoor baller. These for the most part are all pretty much pointless on your players, and that's including like comeback. We're gonna go down a little bit. Includes like closer. Ignore the fact that we have 2. I think this is clutch right here. Nor we have 2 of those, and I think we have 2 comebacks as well. Whoops. A lot of abilities in the game, bound to repeat some, but there is one I want to talk about, and that's persistent. So persistence actually really good on defense. Offense, right? Okay, Aiden Hutchinson wasn't a thing. It would be good or great. I'm putting it mid now because this persistent ability makes it to where your X factor is on for 8 plays, off for 3 for the charge up X factors. But the thing is, Aiden Hutchinson counters that, right? So that's why persistent I think is a little bit mid now, but it used to be like good or great in my opinion, but now just kind of mid. And after that we have Howard Master. So Howard Master, there's actually 3 different versions. So we have Master Tactician, we have Backyard Quarterback as well. So in these, this is all Howard Master as a base. With Master Tactician, you also have the Conductor ability, and with Backyard Quarterback and Master Tactician, you have QB Playmaker right here, and this is just the Playmaker ability. So Master Tactician, I think, is one of the best abilities in the game for sure. Awesome. Love this ability. Now, when we talk about just base Howard Master, right, I'm going to put this good and then Backyard QB great, because this is like the Playmaker part of, say, what's called Master Tactician. It has Howard Master plus QB Playmaker. Master Tactician has everything in one. That's why I kind of wanted to put Hot Route Master in no point to run, but some quarterbacks obviously don't get Master Tactician. They don't get Backyard QB, but if they do, I like it a lot over Hot Route Master. Now we have Conductor as well. Conductor I'm putting in the great tier because it's just like being able to fly through your hot routes I think is so nice. Now Playmaker, I'm putting that in good. Like I think Playmaker, again, it's a good ability. Do you need it? No. Is it annoying at times to play against? Yes, but I'm not saying it's like on the level of like say, I mean, conductor. Like I would rather, if I had to choose, right? Say I had 1 AP left and I got QB playmaker or gift wrapped, I'm going gift wrapped. So yeah, that's my take on playmaker. Alrighty, now we got human joystick right here. Human joystick, I think again, is a solid ability. Now, something I want to talk about by human joystick though is grab and go. Grab and go basically gives you a really good like rack animation or yak animation, however you want to call it. And it also gives you what's called human joystick after the catch. So I'm putting grab and go right by human joystick. And again, a lot of abilities in the game messed up right here. We have 2 human joysticks in this tier. All right, and now we have identifier. Identifier is a insane ability. Identifier is a must-have ability in my opinion, but like being able to see the user changes a lot. Some people will want like a creep user, like user players that you're not really used to. And also identifier, just being able to see the user, you can kind of see like what they want to do from a coverage standpoint as well. I would even say it's kind of slept on how overpowered identifier is. Now we get long range Deadeye. I kind of want to cover all the Deadeyes right by each other so we can talk about them right by each other, right? So we have obviously long range Deadeye, no look Deadeye, dashing Deadeye, red zone Deadeye, roaming Deadeye, lofting Deadeye, inside Deadeye, pocket Deadeye, right? Sideline Deadeye, and we have high point and we have low point Deadeye, right? It's a ton of Deadeye abilities, a lot of quarterback abilities to start. So long range Deadeye, I think it's okay. I don't think it's like no point to run. I get why you would. You get some blues on like some deep corner routes. Thought about putting it good. I did. Now I'm going to say no look Deadeye. There's no point to run. And we're going to talk about an ability that you could run over it. And I guess we should talk about the X-factor Deadeyes as well, including running gun and also the dots / the high-low Deadeye X-factor. Now they're the same thing. High-low Deadeye and dots are the same thing. We'll go over the regular Deadeyes first. Dashing Deadeye, I think it's okay. I think roaming Deadeye is great. Roaming Deadeye is really, really good if you can't get one of these right here, running gun or dots. Red zone Deadeye, no point to run. Inside Deadeye, I would say this is no point to run. It used to be glitched in blue on everything. Don't really think there's a great point. Lofting Deadeye, same thing. Sideline Deadeye, good, mid. I could see either or. I'm gonna lean mid, and then I'm gonna go ahead and say pocket Deadeye is good. Just getting the blues on all the in the pocket throws, I like it. And now we have the 2 X-factor abilities right here. So it is running gun and dots. These are some of the most overpowered and cheesy abilities in the game with the quarterback. Running gun Mahomes is kind of ridiculous. Like you just hold the sprint button, you get out, you blew everything. You can run like 40 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It doesn't matter. And dots is pretty much the same exact thing. Like these are just blues, and there's some of the, again, I don't want to say they're slept on with how overpowered they are, but they are insane. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do this too because I like this right here. So this is gonna be the broken tier as well, and we're gonna add it back. We're gonna put we're gonna put running gun and also dots in here as a baked on ability. Like they are both really crazy, and I think they're better than the must-have abilities because they just make the game kind of stupid. All right, and now we get velocity abilities right here. We have pass lead elite and set feet lead. These are the same exact abilities, by the way. One doesn't make your velocity like better. Here's the difference, okay? Set feet lead, when you're outside the pocket, let go of sprint, it works better with roaming Deadeye. Pass lead elite, on the other hand, when you're outside the pocket, you want to hold sprint. This works better with dashing Deadeye, and it works better with running gun. So this is for sure, I think, must-have abilities. I'm thinking about putting these in broken as well. And yeah, you know what? They actually are such a huge contributor to why like zones can't react. Like I really want EA to remove these from the game. I think they shouldn't be a thing. Like I think defense, a lot of times like the movement of the game gets a lot of flack, and it's just because we have quarterbacks zipping the ball faster than they can react. So I think these are incredibly broken abilities. All right, now we got high point and low point Deadeye. There's really no point. So 1, you don't really miss high ball throws, and 2, low balling. You don't really want to be on classic. You want to be on the freeform setting. I understand why you would want to try it. Like I was on the classic setting at the beginning of the year when man was really, really prevalent, which it's kind of going back to a man coverage Madden. Also, we have quick draw. Quick draw, again, no point to run. It's basically just gunslinger, just under pressure. Recuperation, stamina abilities, I think they're all pretty solid. Like recuperation, also energizer right here too, second win. I understand why you would. It's just, in my opinion, they're not like, hey, you need to run these, right? Like it's just like they're nice to have if you can afford them. Safety valve, I feel like there's no point. We have 2 second ones yet again. Sleight of hand, this is something I always try because it says it increases success at double moves. Doesn't really work. Spin cycle, evasive, and also jukebox. So the spin cycle part of it, I think it's pretty mid. I don't think the spins are crazy this year. However, jukebox and evasive, these 2 are broken. These are the things that make defense even harder. Like being able to basically, you know, say someone plays a cloud flat on defense, you throw a running back table and you have jukebox or evasive. very good chance you make that person miss. And what would be a 3-yard gain is now like a 10-yard gain or potentially a crib shot, right? Very, very bad. I hate these two abilities. Like, if there was 2 things I could remove from Madden, these velocity abilities and jukebox. All right, now after that we have protected. So protected is basically supposed to give your line all day. I don't really think it does a lot. I'm gonna put it mid. I don't think it's a very noticeable ability, and you can even say it's like right here, almost no point to run, but it's something, it's there, and a lot of times it's 0 AP right now. Now this one right here is backyard tight end slash like backyard wide receiver as well, backyard running back. A lot of it has the same logo, and it's essentially the same thing. It's the route apprentice ability with playmaker, right? And when we talk about route apprentices right now, for the most part, it's pretty safe to say that there's basically no point to run basically any of them because we get Howard Master. Obviously, this depends on quarterback. Now, there are some times where, hey, maybe you want to save a little bit of AP, maybe you don't want to run a master tactician. I get it. But is there really a great point to do it right now? I would say no. So all of these abilities, in my opinion, there's really no point. However, backfield master also helps the running back catching and run routes. I think this is a little bit more similar to say like backfield mismatch, and my thoughts on that. And I think both these abilities are pretty good. I think they're both really, really good. I'm putting them in the good tier. And now after that, we have fast break. I have used fast break a lot this year. I feel like it does nothing. And I might be crazy. Didn't really do anything for me. I'm putting in the no point to run. Now we get a bunch of the offensive line abilities right here. So first one we got is all day. I think all day is a great ability. So this is pretty much saying, hey, like after the initial contact, that's when all day kicks in. So the dream combo is all day and also secure protector. So secure protector with all day, I think is the ideal combo for all offensive linemen, basically winning off the rip, and then also all day kicks in after winning off the jump, right? And secure pro also counters basically every single defensive line ability in the game. Pre-lit X-factors, inside stuff, no outsiders, gotta be on your football field. I wouldn't say it's broken though. I think it makes sense. I guess your argument to that is it doesn't have a counter on defense. Maybe you want to put it broken, but I think these abilities right here are a lot more broken than secure protector. And we have edge protector. No point to run edge protector when you can get secure pro. There's literally none at all. Secure protector does everything you think edge pro would do, just better. Like it works everywhere on the offensive line, works better on tackles. No point to run edge pro in my opinion. Hold me once, lifeguard, matador, natural talent. I have very similar thoughts to all these, like tear proof, tough nut, unspun. I think they're all just mid. Like they don't do like a whole lot. It's all to do with blocker resistance as well, which they're not bad abilities. They do something. I think out the bunch, natural talent is my favorite, and maybe you could say it's a good ability, but I don't think you're really going to notice it that much. I think the main thing you're going to notice is secure protector, of course. So I'm going to put all these in the mid tier. And now we get nasty streak. Nasty streak right now. Oh, do I put it? I'm not going to put it broken because I think nasty streak kind of makes sense. If you are want to run the ball at all, nasty streak should probably be on all of your offensive linemen, and you can make it happen to where you have secure pro and nasty streak on every one of your offensive linemen. And I think that makes a ton of sense, man. Nasty streak is a headache to deal with if you are a toter. Now, polar elite, no point to run in my opinion. Screen protector, no point to run. Threat detector and also omniscient right here. So omniscient, no point to run this right now. It actually wasn't bad on the Bruce Matthews field pass card. That's essentially the combo of threat detector and identifier. So threat detector, on the other hand, is a must-have ability as well. I'm putting it right by identifier. That and identifier, it's a lot more broken than what you would think. Being able to see the blitzers on 3rd and 4th down, the 2 most critical downs in the game, by the way. So being able to see that is kind of crazy, man. And it just gives you a huge tell of what they're trying to do on defense. So I think threat detector, definitely a must-have ability. And now we have post up right here. Post up, I think, is a great ability. I'm putting it right by all day. Certain spots on the offensive line, like you want it on a center. Do I think it's must-have? No. I think secure protector, nasty streak, threat detector are all way more must-have than post up, but it's still a really great ability to have. All right, now we get all the elite abilities on receivers, running backs, tight ends, whatever you want to say. So let's talk about all of them. Right here, we have mid in and mid out elite. I think they're like, no pun intended, but I think they're mid. They weren't bad at the beginning of the year where we didn't have a ton of abilities. I almost put them in no point to run. There's very few routes that these activate on. And I'm not talking about like Howard Master post. I'm talking about like post wheel drag at a tight slots or mesh spot post. Like that's when like mid in or mid out does a decent job. And the thing about these abilities too is they get countered by universal coverage. That's what a lot of people are running on defense. And I will put short in, however, in the good tier. I think it's a good ability at this point. Don't think it's like great or must have. I'm going to put short out right by short in. That first man coverage, if they have universal, it's not really doing a lot. I kind of wanted to put it in not no point to run, but yeah, deep in, I will put in no point to run. I feel like it does nothing. And deep elite and deep out elite, I have the same exact thoughts on. So this is an ability that I'm like, hey, guess what? You want to go ahead and get better sideline animations. And I think that's what this is good for. For me, I'm going to put deep out elite in the gray tier, and I'm also going to put deep elite in the gray tier as well. This is essentially the combo of deep in and deep out, and I guess I could go like this. I'm going to put deep elite here and then deep out elite and good. Yeah, I like that. It's just basically better deep out elite. All right, now we have reach for it. Reach for it is okay. I almost wanted to put it in good. I think this is one that could be a little bit higher, but I don't think it activates a ton. I actually used it in one of the recent gameplays with Dree Archer, and I thought it actually did a pretty good job and made him do some things that normally he wouldn't. So I'm a little bit of a fan of this reach forward ability, man. I could see it in the good tier. After that, we have bulldozer. Now, I think I am a moron, and I think I forgot armbar. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I'm an idiot, and I'm blind, actually. But honestly, man, armbar, I think there's no point. I don't think it does a lot with stiff arms. Bulldozer is like, and even bruiser then. I would say bruiser is like good, maybe great. I don't think you do a lot with it, man. I think evasive and jukebox are so much more broken. I think all these abilities right here do a lot more for you than bruiser. I get running like a Mike Allstott or like a William Perry with bruiser. It can win a truck. After that initial truck, man, I feel like the defense just swarms you. And after that, we have red zone threat. I'm gonna say this is no point to run. With all the KOs on defense, it just hard counters it. So there's, again, no point. We also have route tech. Route tech, in my opinion, is going to be one of the must-haves. Now, I debated on this, though, because I'm a little bit 50-50 on this, too. I might bump it down because route tech is really good first man coverage when they don't have universal coverage. But a lot of stuff right now with the defense you're playing, I'm going to bump it down, man, because it's not really going to help too much versus a person that actually knows what they're doing in man coverage. Because if they have universal coverage, route tech is never going to light up. If you man up universal coverage on route tech, it hard counters it. So I think it's a really great ability. I think it's better than everything in good, but does it do a lot for you right now? No. And also route tech isn't going to do anything first zone. So I'm going to keep it in this great tier. We also have run off elite, and I'm going to cover honorary lineman right by it. Honorary lineman, I don't want to say it's broken or like must have, but this is also a great ability. And run off elite, this is one that's kind of risen for me. It's good. So if you remember what honorary lineman does, that's like a lot of like the pancake stuff with receivers, really does a great job at blocking DBs. However, run off elite, okay? What I want you to do is look at like a play like inside zone out of like trips tight end. What you're going to notice is a lot of the receivers are on like some like lines. It looks like gray lines. Those are considered stock blocks in the game. And without run off elite, eventually the DBs that are like playing on the trip side will turn around and play the run. With run off elite, they will not do that. So run off elite is a really good ability. Maybe you want to put it in the great tier. Maybe it's a must have for you for your scheme. And now we have Slot-O-Matic. I don't want to say there's no point to run. Kind of worse than route tech. I'd put it good. I'll put it good. Maybe could see it great. It's kind of my same thoughts on route tech. I just think route tech is literally everywhere, not just on like a slot. And then we also have return man. Obviously it's like, it's not no point to run, but it's like, okay, I guess. Like, I just think a lot of people just have secure tacklers everywhere. Now we have leapfrog right here. So leapfrog, I'll be honest, out of all the abilities, I think this is one of the ones I've ran the least. And usually you can jurtle without fumbling. And I've asked a ton of people, like before making this video, I asked a ton of people, can you fumble with leapfrog? The consensus I got was like, no. I got like 9 no's and 1 yes. The 1 yes scares me. Bare minimum though, if you don't fumble, it's a great ability. If you sometimes, or it gives you a good chance, I'm gonna put it good. I also just think jurtles this year, it's not like they're bad. There's just literally, if you want to jurtle around and run around like a crackhead, there is a way better ability we're about to cover. Now we have balance beam. I feel like balance beam, actually, there is no point to run. It's supposed to make it sure you don't stumble as a ball carrier. I feel like that doesn't happen a lot. Tank right here. So tank, interesting thing about tank. So I got a ton of questions about, hey, does tank counter avalanche? Which the answer is yes, unless they have Enforcer Supreme. I think Enforcer Supreme plus Avalanche counters tank crazy. And that's why I'm a little bit 50-50 on it, because if you're running Avalanche on defense, I feel like you should have Enforcer Supreme everywhere. Not everyone does that. I don't know why. Tank is good or great for me. I think some people do just run the base Avalanche, so I understand why it's like this high for me. We have goal line back right here. I feel like it doesn't give you a crazy boost. I'm going to put this one in the mid tier. All right, now we get a ton of X factors in a row. So the first one is going to be Truz. Truz, I don't don't think it's broken because you can still get user stripped. And this was the ability I was talking about with leapfrog. I also don't think it's must have. I think it's a great ability. I think it's really fun too, but do you need Truz? Again, certain schemes, maybe you do with the quarterback you're running or the scheme you're running, but majority of cards don't really need this. So ankle breaker, no point to run. With all the running back X factors, no point to run. And a little bit out of order right here. This is not an X factor, but third down threat, this one is pretty mid. I was actually so annoyed for so long. They kept giving receivers third down threat and grab and go. Grab and go isn't bad though, by the way. And we have first one free right here. I think this one's mid. It's like a way worse version of like jukebox or evasive, because if you read the description, right, it's like, guess what? You're supposed to go ahead and get an increased fake out on the next juke spin or hurdle. You already get a crazy fake out rate on the first juke spin or hurdle. So it's not really doing a ton for you. And it's not like it stacks with jukebox. All right, now we get freight train. So there's a couple abilities or X factors I want to cover right by each other. Freight train, yak 'em up, angry runs. So freight train plus yak 'em up equals angry runs, by the way, if you're ever curious. So angry runs does work in the pass game. Okay, so I think for a while, right, these were broken, but given the meta on defense of all secure tacklers, I'm unsure if they're broken. I think they are kind of must have, like you want them on your players. I don't think they're broken though. Secure tackler does a really good job of countering these. I would put them more in the must-have tier than I would saying these are completely broken X factors. Like, I think running gun and dots are way more broken with what you can throw. After that, we have grab and smash. Same thing. I say no point to run. Same thing with satellite and wrecking ball as well. Just with the running back X factors you have, no point to run. Now, we get an interesting one though. This right here is wrap them up. And there's 3 abilities in the game that I think are kind of must have on your receiver actually. So that's going to be rack 'em up, double me, or max security. The reason why you want these 3, okay? These can insta beat the bottleneck press. And I am putting all of them in the must-have tier, and I'm putting them above yak 'em up and angry runs for a reason. Double me, rack 'em up, and max security, such great abilities to get in the game to just beat the meta on defense. And again, I don't necessarily want to say they're broken. I don't want to say they're broken either, because it's not like they're crazy overpowered. You are using them to insta beat the man press. We also have bazooka right here. Bazooka isn't like bad, man. It really isn't. It increases like how far you can throw. I'm gonna put it good. I don't think it's must-have. I don't think it's great. I understand why you would run it. And we have Vanguard. Is there any question? Is there any question? I think this is actually, you know what? This is my thoughts on Vanguard. I'm actually so serious. Like, you might think I'm like kind of dragging it a little bit. This is seriously my thoughts on Vanguard, man. This is the reason why RPOs are like so annoying, or like running the ball is so annoying. Oh man, even if you have a team full of reinforcements, a team full of out of my ways, good luck, man, good luck. After that though, we get blitz radar. This is essentially threat detector just for an X factor. So I'm gonna put it literally right by threat detector. We also get brick wall. This is kind of agile extender and anchored extender. Really no point to run. We have gambit right here. So gambit, this is not a bad one. I think this is actually better when there's less abilities on quarterback, and you could get this for a charge up X factor. So this gives your quarterback faster throwing speeds, which is essentially gunslinger. And it also gives you, it says like you can't throw picks to AIs, but if they have pick artists, they're going to catch it, right? So in my opinion, gambit, I'll put it right now though, there's no point to run it. I will say that. Right now, there is no point to run it, but usually good or great. We have Omaha right here. So Omaha right here, like it was up there with Vanguard, but now with Aiden Hutchinson, it's like great. Just the frequency at which you play Aiden Hutchinson. Now, if there is a card that gets baked on Omaha for 0 AP, it is right up here with Vanguard for the most broken thing in the game. And finally, we get pro reads right here. One of the main points is the fact that it highlights the first open target. That is not what matters to us. This ignores pressure, so it's like fearless. I have very similar thoughts to this and also say gambit. So I'm gonna put them right by each other. They are usually good to great, but right now there's no point to run them. Yeah, boys, this has been my thoughts on all the offensive abilities in Madden 24 Ultimate Team. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know if I also missed any too. There's so many abilities in the game. I feel like I was bound to miss one, and I probably did, but let me know down below in the comments if I did or not. But hope you guys did enjoy the video, man. Final thoughts for the year of this is what we're playing in Ultimate Team. So hopefully I was able to help you, and we will be doing this not only in Madden next year, but also NCAA as well. If you guys do enjoy that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I also usually do stream every single day here on YouTube and Twitch, 2 p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern. Watch on the YouTube side of things. Make sure to hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. Also check the links in the description, hit that NCAA channel with the follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here.